Good morning, it's Tuesday the 23rd of February and I am going to talk you through your first English lesson. So the what for today is to write a persuasive letter, and you will see something quite random underneath your what and your date for today, but I know how much you guys love a quiz, and I do too. So I have got 5 questions and they are the names of 3 film characters. And your challenge is to try and name the film that the 3 characters are from. So if you want to pause the video and if you'd like to have a go just for a little bit of fun, just for something different before we begin our English lesson, then you can, and then I will go through the answers. So we have got Simba, Scar, and Mufasa. This is one of my favourite Disney films. So I wonder if you worked out what it was. So number 1 is going to be The Lion King. And then 2 is Monsters, Inc. 3, Thumper. Hopefully you've got that one as Bambi. I love Bambi. 4, Sadness, Joy and Disgust was Inside Out. And then the last one, Ariel, Ursula and Sebastian, was The Little Mermaid. So just a little bit of fun, as I know we all like a good quiz. So I thought you could just see how you got on with those questions and identifying the movie. So let's get back to our English lesson. So today we are going to be writing a persuasive letter, and it's going to be your cold task today. So if we were at school, we would have our cold task to start our unit, and you would be writing this independently to show us what you already knew about what we are learning. Okay, so today, no different. You are going to complete a cold task by writing a persuasive letter. So our writing target for this term and for this unit is to draft and write by organising simple paragraphs around a theme. So paragraphs are going to be really important in our persuasive unit of work. So what is persuasive writing? You're going to be writing a persuasive letter today, and our topic for this term is persuasive writing. So what is it? What is persuasive writing? So persuasive writing is trying to make someone see your point of view. So it's all about trying to get someone to believe you, to believe what you're saying is true, whether it is or not. So you're trying to persuade somebody that you are correct and what you're saying is true. You want them to believe you. So it tries to make people feel the same way you do about the topic. So this example here, the boy says, I like apples and you should too. So the boy would be trying to persuade everybody that they should all like, or we should all like apples. And then here is a persuasive writing word mat. Now I don't want you to worry about this today, but I just thought I'd put it on there in case you want to challenge yourself to try and use some of these words in your writing today. Now it's a cold task, so I'm not expecting you to, but if you want to challenge yourself, you might want to see if you can include some of those in your letter. But don't worry, as we're going to really focus on these in the next few lessons. So what can you see in the images on the board? I love these images, lots of farm animals, and our topic is down on the farm, isn't it? So in the pictures, we have got some alpacas, we've got some goats, we've got a pig over here, and it looks like there are some school children in the picture. So maybe they're visiting a farm? No, they've got a farm at their school. How exciting is that? So there is a school in Cheltenham that have farm animals. Do you think it would be good if our school had farm animals? I hope you're saying yes, because I think it would be fantastic if we were able to have farm animals. So this school here in Cheltenham, they have their own farm. So they have animals that the children are able to go and see when they want to. So the children can learn about the animals, and they also grow their own crops as well. So rather than having to go and visit a farm, they've got one on their school grounds. And I just think that's fantastic. And it would just be so interesting and would teach us so much if we were able to have animals at our school. So I want you to think about, would you like a farm at our school? And if you would, how could we persuade Mrs. Blanche to allow us to have a farm, including some animals, either at our school or maybe at a nearby site if our school isn't quite big enough? Okay, so how could we persuade Mrs. Blanche that it's a really good idea and that we should, St. Gregory's should have our own farm? So I want you to think about how you would persuade her. We can't just say, dear Mrs. Blanche, I think we should have our own farm. We should have some farm animals, as I love pigs. And that's your letter. Do you think that's persuasive enough? No, we need to have some really good reasons. We can't just say we like pigs or we like goats. We need to have some really persuasive arguments, some persuasive reasons for why a farm at St. Gregory's would be a good idea. So I've come up with a few things that might help you when you're writing your letter today. So it would really help us with our topic. Our topic is down on the farm. We're learning about farms. So if we had a farm at St. Gregory's, that would really help us with our learning. And we wouldn't have to go and visit another farm either. So we'd have one right on our site. It would help us to learn how to look after animals, and it would teach us to care and respect other living creatures. So it would really develop our skills for life, wouldn't it? It would really help us understand how things grow and how we can care for another living thing. We could run farm clubs. So when we have after school clubs, we don't have an after school farm club. How cool would that be? And I think it would make school much more exciting if at lunch times or break times, we were able to go and visit the animals, or for a lesson. How exciting would that be if a lesson was to go down to our farm and to maybe clean them or to look after them? Other schools could visit. We'd be like one of the best schools in Cheltenham, wouldn't we, if we had our own farm animals? Well, we're the best school in Cheltenham anyway, we know that. But other people might think we were the best school if we had farm animals, and we could invite other schools and other children to come and visit our school. So it'd be a real sense of community. Or perhaps we could raise funds for our school if people wanted to maybe donate some money to come and see our animals. It would get us outside more. I bet everybody would want to be outside, wouldn't they? If while they were outside, they could observe pigs and sheep and goats and so on. So it would really get us outside in the fresh air. We could also grow our own produce. So as well as having animals, if we've got a farm, we can grow our own crops, and then we'd have our vegetables and so on right on our school site. So it would make us far more sustainable. And perhaps if we're growing our own produce, we could use those for our school dinners as well. So there are lots of reasons why a farm would be a really good idea for our school. So what you're going to have to do is you are going to write a letter to Mrs. Blanche to try and persuade her that we should have our very own St. Gregory's farm, just like that other school has in Cheltenham, okay? So you need to think about what you're going to include. So you're going to have to address the reader. You're going to have to put, Dear Mrs. Blanche, and then I want you to make sure that you explain why you are writing the letter. So why are you writing to Mrs. Blanche? You are writing to Mrs. Blanche as you want to persuade her that having a farm at St. Gregory's would be really good for our school. Then I want you to persuade Mrs. Blanche why we should have a farm. So this is where you're going to give some different reasons. So you're not just going to say, because I love animals and they're fun. You're going to explain at least, I would say, 3 different reasons why we should have a farm. And then I want you to make sure that you close your letter. Okay, so you have a final sentence or paragraph and you close your letter. So you might say yours faithfully and then your name. Okay, so those are the things that I'm looking for today. There are some extra things here at the bottom that you might want to try and include, but I'm not going to go into that in detail as it is a cold task. So it's really about what you already know or what you can already do about persuasive writing. And then at the end of the unit, you'll have another go at writing a persuasive letter. And we know that it hopefully will be a lot better as you would have learnt lots about persuasive writing. So this is just a try, okay? You're just trying to write a persuasive letter. And then once you've had a go at writing your persuasive letter, you can mark it yourself. Now, if we were at school, I would obviously mark it in detail for you, but unfortunately we're not. But I think it would be really useful if you could carry out some self-marking. So I'd really like you to pick one thing that you think you have done well. Okay, and that will go in this green box here. And it might be if you've got somebody at home who isn't busy, if they're able to read your letter with you, then they could help you pick out something that you are proud of, that you've done really well. And then I want you to pick out something that you would like to improve over the unit. So something that you want to get better at. And it might be that when you read your letter, you don't think that you have used enough connectives. Maybe you feel like you've missed out paragraphs. Maybe you want to learn how to make it more persuasive. And we're going to learn lots about persuasive features over the next few weeks. Okay, so have a go at writing the persuasive letter to Mrs. Blanche and then have a go at marking it. And I would love it if you could send in this work today so that I could read your persuasive letters and give a little bit of feedback as well. So have a lovely day, enjoy writing your letters, and we will see you later. Take care.